Hey guys, what's going on? Welcome back. Whoops, wrong thing. Welcome back to Prospect Central 101. My name is Chris, and today joining me we have.
Keelan.
And today we're going to be watching some Jeffrey Okudah with you guys. So, first off, a couple apologies. First off, because this video is probably going to be really laggy. It took us, what, 3 hours to get this started?
Yeah, about that.
It's been absolutely insane. So if this video is laggy or whatever, then oh well, we're just gonna have to deal with that. I'll make another one at another point if that happens down the line. Um, and then also, I've been missing a lot of videos the last 2, actually weeks. We had a pretty bad family emergency early last week, and that's been kind of keeping me busy and distracted. So I've been out for like a week and a half, just staying away from film, trying to just chillax and relax and take care of some personal stuff since probably about the middle of November. So, but we should be back now, good to go. Hopefully, if my computer will continue cooperating eventually when we get it to work. Uh, so we're gonna start out by getting back into this during Rivalry Week with Okudah. So Keelan here is an Ohio State fan, and this is actually your first time in a while doing one of these. So
Yeah, I think it's the first time
I'll let you
this year.
kind of just introduce yourself and that kind of thing.
Alright, well, yeah, I'm Keelan. I'm an Ohio State fan. It's not my first time on here. I think I was on here a couple times last year.
Nice. And then pro team is Oakland.
Yeah, that's right.
Yep. So he's gonna be helping me out a little bit with Akuda. He's watched him a lot more than I have, as most of you guys know. For those of you guys who are returning viewers, I do like to go into these pretty blind and kind of unaware for the most part, as much as I can be, of a lot of these guys' strengths or weaknesses or things like that. So I'm kind of coming from a place of open-mindedness, but you have seen a lot of him. So what do you expect to see
Well,
as we go through this?
he's really consistent and he's really good. And I really haven't really been paying attention to Okuda as much. I've been, on defense. I've really been paying attention to like Chase Young, as have most of us been.
Yeah.
So still a lot of the things I see will be new to me, as well as some of them. Obviously, I'll remember a lot of plays and stuff that I've seen throughout the year and last year and whatever. But for the most part, I've been paying a lot of attention to the defensive line. So a lot of this will be refreshing my memory, I guess.
Nice. All right. So Okuda is going into the little bit of the bio info here. A third-year junior currently from Ohio State. He's almost certainly going to declare barring injury. Listed unofficially at 6 foot 200, and age is most likely not a factor for a junior. So, with that being said, we have 2 games for you guys today. When they eventually load, if hopefully they eventually load. The first one is going to be the Indiana game from this year, and then the other one is going to be the Michigan State game from this year. So, do you remember watching either of those or both of those?
Which, sorry?
Indiana and Michigan State this year?
Um, I don't think I might have watched the Indiana game. I don't think I watched Michigan State though, because no, sorry, the opposite. I watched Michigan State, I think, but I didn't watch Indiana.
Oh, okay. Yeah, the Michigan State game was a night game.
Yeah,
I think that wasn't Thursday night. I think it was a primetime like college game day game.
yeah, I think it was on. I'm pretty sure it was a Saturday. I don't think Indiana was on TV for me though up here.
Ah, gotcha. Okay, so I'm waiting for the bio info to see if there's anything that we need to make note of on here. Have you done any research into Okuda, like character or Anything like that? Any kind of evaluation work so far?
No, not really. I haven't seen anything come up in like any of the, Twitter accounts I follow for Ohio State or anything, but I haven't really dug into it that much.
Gotcha. Yeah, I haven't really either. So anything else you want to throw out here for the video while we're kind of just getting screwed by my computer?
He's definitely took a nice leap from last year. Like, he was good last year, but he's really like becoming a lot more popular, and he's becoming a lot better this year.
Okay, so the main thing is basically it's a 3-year starter, which is nice experience. I'm assuming probably going to take on some leadership roles. We should expect to see that over the course of these. And then shout out to, well, again, we're waiting for this computer to be not dumb. Shout out to Mark for the database and putting together all the tapes for us. 3 games from last year for those of you guys who want to go back through his 2018 stuff as well. Do you remember if he was? I'm assuming he's made some improvements since last year.
Yeah, I don't really remember too much from last year, but I know he has definitely improved from last year.
Nice. So I guess, kind of, again, while we're waiting, we'll talk a little bit about his stock. Do you really think that he has, like, Marshawn Lattimore top 5, top 10 type upside?
Yeah, I think so. I mean, especially since, like, last year, or was it last year? 2 years ago, Denzel Ward went 4th overall.
Yeah, true.
Like, and Lattimore went like top 12.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think he could be up there, like top 7, top 10.
Interesting. I think it's going to be real interesting to compare him to Denzel Ward, because Okudah hits that 6-foot marker.
Yeah.
I think Ward was only 5'10".
Yeah,
He's like 5'11".
Yeah, 5'11". But yeah, no, he's definitely a lot longer of a corner.
Okudah.
Yeah, Okudah is.
So I think that kind of thing will be interesting. And it should also be kind of interesting to compare just their general athleticism.
Yeah.
To see how similar they are in that aspect too.
Yeah, I think Ward was really athletic. He ran a really fast 40.
I think it was like 4.35 or something, wasn't it?
Yeah, but I feel like it was really good. I'm gonna look it up. Hold on. It was like a really good number though. It was like 4.32.
Jeez.
I don't think Okudah will reach 4.32, but his last best, I guess the last time I see a log was 4.49. But that was
Probably in high school.
Yeah, probably. Which is he's a 4.4 guy. He's nowhere. He's not gonna be 4.3 like Ward, but I mean, or even Lattimore was 4.36. I didn't even know that.
He was blazing. That was fun. Lattimore was a fun watch for me.
Yeah, I love Lattimore. As an Ohio State fan.
The one thing that kind of made Lattimore a little bit difficult was that he had Hooker behind him. so he could play a little bit more shallow and trust
Yeah.
help over the top. Whereas I don't even know who Ohio State's safety right now is.
We got
Jordan
Fuller.
Fuller.
Yeah, who's gonna be probably a day 3 pick.
Yeah. And who's the other one?
Hold on. Wait, who is it? Is it? Wait.
I can't think of it either.
Brendan White. Yeah, no, I could not think of the life of me.
I don't think I've ever even pointed him out on any given play.
Yeah.
So, kind
Yeah,
of.
definitely not as good as Malik Hooker.
Yeah, which is basically the point.
Yeah.
So I think that Okudah, going back to the main overline topic, has a little bit more work to do himself in terms of respecting vertical stem.
Yeah.
And also different defense too, because Greg Schiano and was it just Greg Schiano for both of them? He was there 2 years, right?
I think so, yeah.
Yeah, I think it was Greg Schiano for both Lattimore and Ward, and
Yeah.
different defense now. So that'll be very interesting to kind of see. Under Ryan Day.
Speaking of defensive coordinators, Jeff Hafley, our defensive coordinator, is a semifinalist for the Broyles Award. So,
I can't say I'm too surprised by that. The question, though, is will he meet for a head coaching gig?
I have no idea. But he's our co-defensive coordinator / secondary coach. So, let's see. Who else is a finalist? Hold on. We've got
Probably
Kevin
Tony
Steele.
Elliott.
Sorry?
Probably Tony Elliott.
No.
Probably Dave Miranda. Probably the...
Here, let me just read it. Kevin Steele from Auburn, Phil Snow from Baylor, Jeff Scott from Clemson, Dan Lanning from Georgia, Kalen DeBauer, or whatever his name is, however you pronounce it, from Indiana, Joe Brady from LSU, Don Brown from Michigan.
Wow, Don Brown made it. Nice.
Kirk Ciarrocca, or whatever, I don't know how to pronounce that.
Ciarrocca.
From Minnesota, yeah. Then Brian Newberry from Navy, and then of course Jeff Hafley, like I said, Alex Grinch from Oklahoma, Alex Avelos from Oregon, Rhett Lashley from SMU, Jim Leonard from Wisconsin, and Morgan Scalley from Utah.
Wow, they didn't name Dave Aranda? Their defense has been underperforming a little bit compared to expectations.
Yeah. Wait, for who?
LSU.
Yeah, no, their defense hasn't been quite as good as past years. Especially with no more Devin White or Grady or whatever in them.
Honestly, I kind of expected them to be a little bit better, especially after the start to the year.
Yeah.
Because they still have a lot of very, very good players. They still have Caleb on. They still have Grant Delpit, who are two of my top 5 or 10 players in the draft.
Derek Stingley, who's one of the better corners in college already.
Yeah, he has made a couple of mistakes though, to be fair.
Yeah, but he's a true freshman, right?
Yep.
So that's bound to happen. He's gonna be 3-year starter.
Christian Fulton.
Yeah.
Jacob Phillips is okay. The Dominique they had for a couple weeks. He is okay.
Yeah.
Rashard Lawrence has been really, really good at times, especially. So they still have loads of talent, and from what I've been able to see, the major difference is their motor has been able to keep them going. So like they give up points and stuff like that, but they're able to kind of just keep on going and playing a full 60 minutes without making more mistakes than the other teams, which is what really helps them.
Yeah. This really not gonna load.
It will eventually. It'll probably just take 5 minutes. Which is really annoying because this like does not happen very often. Like there are times where I just don't record because of this, but which is another reason why my upload schedule is not consistent at all.
Yeah, it's
On the other hand, my Wi-Fi on my tablet isn't really all that great, which is why I'm not able to do threads too often because I tried to do a thread a couple weeks ago on, I think it was Stream on Digs.
yeah.
And there was like one video where I literally had like a 45-minute gap for like a 5-second clip.
Yikes.
It's like, are you freaking serious? It does not take this long to post to Twitter.
There we go. Yeah, I'd like to do some more draft stuff on my Twitter. I haven't really been that active in the draft stuff. I've just been dealing with a lot of personal stuff, and I haven't really been paying attention too much to like draft stuff.
So the first game that we're gonna watch when it eventually loads is Indiana. I think you said that this was the earlier game in the season.
Yeah,
of the two.
Believe so. I think Indiana was one of the, I think, first or one of the first Big Ten games of the season for us. And as I check,
You find it?
it is, yeah, it was week 3, so the first game.
Week 3 for a conference game?
Yeah. And then we had the first 2 games. And then against like Florida Atlantic and then Cincinnati. And then
I'm just trying to figure out who the third non-conference is.
Miami, Ohio.
It's kind of a random team to play mid-season, isn't it?
Yeah, week 4. It was like we played FAU, Cincinnati, Indiana, and then Miami, Ohio, and then the rest of our Big Ten schedule.
That's really random, but okay.
Yeah. It is kind of weird, but...
Okay, so can you see everything alright?
Yeah.
Okay. So, Okudah starts here at the bottom of the screen. And he will be wearing number 1. It doesn't say that, but... Okay, nice. I like the base. Pretty quick to get out of his step as well, which is really nice. Nice physicality for the catch point there. Nice discipline. Oh, okay.
Nice hit.
So, uses his size well physically. Probably could have transitioned that a little bit better, but oh well. Also, look at the size advantage here, so this should be interesting. This receiver
Yeah.
looks probably like 6'6".
He looks,
6'5".
yeah, he's really tall.
Okay. Oops. Okay, so you just overcommitted on the first. Not too terrible. Nice transition. Really clean, really smooth. Love how he starts out here on the outside. And bam, they transition really, really nicely. Well done. Same thing. Really nice transition. Oops. Yeah, I'm gonna do that. Nice job getting off the receiver to pursue. Probably a hamstring issue. Which seems to be very common for corners. Unfortunately. He does a really nice job. You guys probably saw it on this play here. He does a really nice job of opening up and getting out really, really clean and quick on the first step. Boom. Just really nice rotation. Opens up. And then out. He's doing a nice job of staying in pace too. Great pass deflection, good ball tracking. Great three-phase play.
I love this play.
One thing I will say is at the beginning of this, at the LOS, I do want to see him be a little bit more active within the first yard or so. At this point, he's already starting to back up and give up a little bit of ground. So if he continues doing that, that leaves him susceptible to a slant because at this point you see him fully outstretched. So he's probably be to the inside. So at this point in the play, if this were a slant route, he's got all this open space across the middle. So you do want to see him be a little bit more active with the hands at the contact point. Nice job getting his head around though too.
Yeah, and nice job punching the ball loose.
Zone coverage on that particular look. Very versatile in coverage, which is one of the first things that I'm going to have on my grade sheet. Nice. So from Okudah's standpoint here, he's going to be at the top. And he actually gets caught off a little bit. It's kind of hard to show in regular motion. But he actually rotates a little bit out first and then has to swivel back in. And he actually does that really, really nicely and stays in phase. So it kind of goes again to show the smoothness of his athleticism.
Yeah. Also, shout out to Sean Wade on that last play.
Man coverage look. He was playing off against the drag though. That's not gonna. There you go. A little bit more active with the hand that time, and it worked. Now was he able to redirect? Was that him that caused that? Yeah, it looks like he redirects. So that's a really good press look from Okudah. Which, again, speaks to the variance in coverage. Nice patience, but yep, again, and the next play goes right back to the negative side. Right? He's just back straight off instead of playing at the line.
Yeah.
And it leaves him wide open to the sling route across the middle of the field. Easy catch. Good adjustment by Indiana to recognize that, though, too. Okay, off man or zone.
So may I just say, Chase Young is a monster.
Okay, nice zone look. Another nice zone look. Ooh, I like the feet. Footwork here is really, really nice. Watch this pedal. Bam, just so quick and active in his feet.
If anything, he's extremely athletic.
But on the other hand, though, too, is he doesn't really seem to be giving me off like any real bad vibes. I do wish he were a little bit more hand active, but like in terms of effort and motor, he seems to be pretty. There's the opposite. Yeah, he seems to be pretty engaged in the plays, pretty consistent,
Yeah.
all that type of stuff. I don't think this is like a Justin Gilbert situation where you're taking a guy because he's athletic and hoping he pans out.
Oh yeah, no.
Okay, red zone look. Nice, didn't even throw that way. Very interesting. So, any thoughts on game number 1?
Well, it just seems he's really athletic, and when he gets the ball thrown his way, I like how he just like he's aware of the ball and he uses his hands and makes sure to knock the ball away, which I like a lot. And like you said, he's not really physical at the line, which is something I'd like to see him improve on. But so far, he seems like really, really solid and really good.
Nice. So does this kind of fit what you were thinking, expecting coming in?
Yeah, pretty much. I don't think he's quite as like athletic as Denzel Ward was, but he's still extremely athletic, and he's definitely really, really solid and really like he's not gonna give up. He doesn't really give up a lot of like blown coverages, I guess. It's just he's really like excellent in coverage, and it's basically what I was expecting.
Ooh. Oh, it's the ball game. I gotta say for a second.
Also, I'm kind of unrelated, but I noticed a lot like some good plays by some of the other Ohio State corners like Sean Wade and Damon Arnett, and I feel like I should just like shout out to them.
Nice. Yeah, there's probably, 4 Ohio State defensive backs that are going to get drafted this year?
Yeah, I think so. Like, we got, of course,
Wade, Filler, and
Arnett, yeah.
Arnett.
Yeah, those 4 should get drafted.
Whatever happened to Kendall Sheffield after he broke his leg?
Didn't he end up going to, like, the Falcons, I think? Yeah, he got drafted in the 4th round to the Falcons in 2019. And
How's he doing?
I'm just looking. He has 35 tackles, a pass deflection, and a forced fumble.
So he's actually like playing starting.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay. Good for him. As I keep going to that other screen, everything I need for this video is on this one. For those of you guys who are new, welcome. This is what it's like to film a video without editing any of it. I probably should edit some of these, especially things like this. But I do
have
it raw.
I have experience editing. I just don't have any editing software. Like, I learned how to edit in school last year, so like I could probably do it. It's just I don't have any software to do it with.
Yeah. For me, it's more about like the time and the fact I just like it this way, typically. When it's like smooth, when it actually like loads properly, and it like does what it's supposed to do, it generally comes off a little bit more natural. Because I feel like when you start editing stuff, like it kind of gets to the point where you like kind of skip over things. And like especially for something like a film breakdown, it gets to the point where it's like, well, did you really show me like all the positive and all the negative? And like there's a play like there's a lot of plays that I don't talk for where I'm still seeing things happen.
Yeah.
Like whether it be footwork or like consistency traits or what they did or didn't do on a given play, or like a big one is motor and stuff like that. Like there's a lot of things that you can look for on a play where nothing happens.
Yeah, for sure.
It's kind of interesting from that standpoint, but yeah, as far as like changing and going through this process, it just really sucks.
Yeah, I'm not really good at talking. Well, I'm trying to like focus on the play, and like that's why I don't really talk as much, which is something I'm trying to improve on. It's a lot, like I'm trying to focus on the play as well.
That's kind of why I go back. By the way, if you need something like rewinded or whatever, let me know. I can go back.
Okay.
But that's why I try and like rewind plays too.
Yeah.
Is so that like if I see something, like maybe we can go back out and go over it a little bit more in more detail and stuff like that. Or just like if it's something quick that I want to keep drilling or re-emphasize or whatever,
Yeah.
then I can just like go through it as we start to watch the next play. But
Yeah.
so the next game we have is going to be Michigan State. Hopefully a little bit lengthier. Though 5 minutes today seems like 45 minutes of a normal video.
Yeah.
I probably could have recorded like 2 or 3 of these things at minimum in the time that we literally just waited for OBS to load. Ay, ay, ay.
Oh my god.
But that's what happens when I don't use this thing for 2 weeks because of other stuff going on.
Yeah.
And I've told you about it in our DMs, but
Yeah.
it's been a really crazy week and a half to 2 weeks.
I really hope things get better for you guys.
Yeah, thanks. Hopefully most of the hard stuff is kind of past a little bit.
Yeah.
And I'm trying to get back into a little bit of a routine, but unfortunately this is not helping. It's making things a little bit more difficult to do things smoothly today.
Yeah. It's difficult.
And this is what happens when I like record videos or I go to like watch something and then I don't post a video on it because that happens, right? Like I'm not gonna post like 300. I don't plan on posting like 300 videos this year. It would be
Yeah.
cool if I could, but like I don't know if that's necessarily possible to do for a single class or if that would even be worth it.
Yeah.
But like there are guys like if there's like a 6th round guy or a 5th round guy that I'm watching and like stuff like this happens, it's like why even just bother posting this? Like there's no real reason to go through with that.
Yeah.
And there are like even a couple of guys I've already watched, like there are a couple of linebackers in particular. And it's like these guys are getting 40 grades or like 50 grades or whatever. Do I
Yeah.
really feel it's necessary to go on my laptop and spend an hour trying to record a 15-minute session on a guy who's probably not going to get drafted, or if he does, will go late day 3?
Or like 4, and now we've spent like 4 hours on this.
Has it really been that long?
Yeah, it's been 5:30 since we've been trying to get on here.
God.
Or 5:30 my time, so 8.
8:30? Oh
3,
my
yeah.
god. Oh. To edit offline, I'm not even offline. Or my Skype wouldn't be working.
Exactly.
What? Like, that does that even make sense to you?
Nope.
Like, if I literally were offline, my Skype wouldn't be working. And I don't think my OBS would be recording. So that makes
This is
zero
weird.
sense. Unbelievable. It is normally not this bad. For those of you guys who are new, especially, it can get a little bit draggy. Like there are times I've had to wait like 5 minutes or so, like over the course of a video, which is why some of them can get long. But it's normally not like I'm probably gonna have to wait like over the course of the video, 15 minutes to a half hour, which is absurd.
Yeah.
And like I get that it's cloudy and we're supposed to be getting a storm like tomorrow. It should
It
not
snowed
be this
for
bad
us
at midnight.
for like 10 minutes today, I think. Well, at least that's what I heard. I was probably sleeping. Because I usually get up at like 7:45, and my school starts at 8:15, so I literally get dressed and walk out the door.
Oh, dang.
Because I don't really feel like cooking or having breakfast. Or having lunch, honestly. I usually just buy pizza. But apparently it was snowing at like 7 o'clock this morning. Which is interesting, but it was only for like 15 minutes. And that's what life is in Vancouver. And then it's supposed to rain starting next Tuesday. Every day for like over a week. Which
Oh,
is
rip.
fun.
Honestly, I'm kind of pleased by our weather. Like, when I went to the funeral and the burial, like,
Yeah,
both days were really, really nice. Like, it was probably 40s and sunny both days.
that's nice.
For Michigan in late November, that is really, really, really good. So we got extremely lucky from that standpoint.
I'm gonna check what it is in Fahrenheit because it's like 3 degrees for me, but that's Celsius. So right now
Like
apparently
35.
37, yeah. But it's supposed to be like 40. It's supposed to be like the highest, like low 40s or like high 30s.
Yeah.
For the remainder of the week.
That's about what it's been here the last couple of days.
That's not bad.
But that's why the Lions playing a dome.
Yep.
Now Saturday will be interesting. I guess since we're waiting for this, do you have any thoughts that you want to give on the actual game? Since we're watching this during the, definitely see that. Okay, so top of the screen. Now, what should be interesting about Michigan State is, for as bad of an offense as they are, they do have some pretty interesting individual talents, including one of my personal favorite receivers in this class, mainly because I know him, is Cody White. So, I think he was playing for this game. He may have missed it, because I think he was out for like a couple weeks.
Oh yeah.
So it's possible that he was out, but
Also, I love these black jerseys. Or those black jerseys.
the Ohio State ones, yeah.
Yeah, they're beautiful.
Are you guys going to be wearing the... Oh, that's right, because you're away, so you can't wear color. You guys will be stuck in the gray or whatever.
Yeah. Throwback to when Michigan State was 4-1.
And you're ranked.
Nice forced fumble by, can't even remember who that was. Was it Damon Arnett?
Okay, well, I mean, if it's going to freeze naturally here, may as well talk about this particular freeze. Okudah opens up really early here at the top, which is interesting. It's not necessarily a bad or a good thing, especially depending on the coverage.
Mm-hmm.
Oh.
That's fun.
Okay, it did leave him a little bit susceptible. Because, yeah, like, see how he's kind of transitioning a little bit more than he should. So, yeah, it's not necessarily the best. He jumped out a little bit too quickly. Same thing, he didn't redirect. And because of that, he's doing a really nice job of playing tight, right? Like, he's doing a pretty good job of staying phase. But, whoops, that was probably too much. When we get back to that play, eventually, what you're going to notice is that he gives himself a little bit too much room to the inside because he doesn't redirect inside. So Lewerke, who is Michigan State's quarterback, could easily throw this underneath, and Okudah would have to cut it off. Now he doesn't get shove at the back end of the play. But he's probably a little bit better in off man than, in soft man than press. Okay, nice break. Good job of getting underneath. Okay, nice zone look, good flip as well. Nice patience. Really like his ability to recognize or to read that route. Nice zone look. How was that caught?
It was that he was all over him. I don't know how he caught that. And he lost his lid.
Okay, so at this particular frame, it's actually a pretty good spot to pause. He does seem to give up a little bit of separation here, which is probably what gives the worky enough of a room, enough of a window, I should say, to make that throw.
Yeah, he definitely got beat there.
Unfortunately, it's kind of hard to tell why, because it was cut off by the camera underneath.
Yeah.
Nice patience. Oh, it looked like he shot back at the end. Interesting. Again, really nice patience, reading the screen, and coming downhill. Really nice.
Kind of sounds like you're breathing in the mic right now, Chris. Like really heavily.
I had to unplug my computer because it was starting to get hot, so you might hear that.
It seemed to have stopped though, so we're good.
Ooh, what was 3 doing? That might have been a push off.
Good job.
And okay, on this play, we talked earlier about how he wasn't really necessarily being aggressive enough. This play is just kind of poor technique because in press, you typically don't jam with both hands. And he almost lunges out here. That was a weird chop. Yeah, like right there, you see him lunge out with both hands.
Yeah.
And it gives up a little bit of space behind. Now, it doesn't end up mattering because he has good recovery speed, but... Okay, so look, nice transition. He's doing a really nice job with his zones so far. Okay, nice physicality of POA. Nice tackle. Well, it might not necessarily be called a tackle, but...
Nice job getting to the ball carrier at least and wrapping him up.
Okay, I really love his patience. Oh, that was a very interesting play. I think the other corner forgot to transition, but it worked out because he stayed. He's going to do really, really good early on against technical route runners with this kind of discipline. Oh, missed the tackle. And it's also going to prevent things like that from happening where he gets beat on drags consistently. I love that drop. Really nice back pedal. He might not be like 10 RIS guy, but he definitely displays the on-tape athleticism that you need to see from a corner, which is honestly good enough at worst.
Yeah, definitely.
He's giving up this inside a lot, which is really interesting. That's like the 4th or 5th play now. He keeps on doing that. I wonder if that's being coached. Oops. Choppy. You see where he is on this play?
Yeah.
That say anything to you?
Sorry, what was that?
Does that mean anything to you?
I mean, he's in the slot now.
Mm-hmm. Does that mean anything to you? Or no?
Not really.
Okay. It is interesting though, because it does allude to a couple of things that they're able to do with him schematically. Which is why I asked.
Yeah, I mean, it doesn't seem too frequent, so I mean, he's definitely versatile in a way that he can play the slot effectively, but it doesn't seem too frequent to really pay attention to.
I guess my main theory, Cody White is playing. I guess my main thinking is, do you see him as someone who could cover the slot? Like a Stephon Diggs or Adam Thielen. Guys who like to rotate in and out, or a Juju Smith, or...
Well, you definitely need to work on, like, covering the inside a lot better with those slant routes and the...
True.
Okay.
Oh, look at the motor though. And you get to see a little bit of the top end speed here from Okudah, which is kind of
Yeah.
cool.
So that was a nice pick. I think that was Fuller.
To be fair, whoever it was kind of like right place, right time. It wasn't...
Yes. No, it was just like a nice run back, is what I'm saying. Jordan Fuller.
Okay, so your thoughts through both the games today?
Well, he's really athletic, and he could, work on his hand usage at the line of scrimmage, but all in all, I think he's really good in coverage, and he doesn't make too many mistakes once he drops back into coverage, and he's really good with his footwork and really fluid in his motions, and I think he's gonna be really good in the NFL.
Nice. So to save us all a whole lot of time, I'm just going to go through the grades on my iPad. So you guys won't be able to see me actually record these, but I'm just going to tell you guys what I'm doing and speak through it. So, let me finish reading in the games we watched, Indiana and Michigan State of 2019. The first thing that I have on here is Variance of Coverage. So for those of you guys who are new, or like Keelan may not have watched any of the other videos, or may not just know in general, may have forgotten, Variance of Coverage is basically your ability to play both man and zone. Mainly your ability to play man 1, 2, 3, 4 press predominantly, and be able to do so both at a high level. So, for example, if you're really good in man and really good in zone, then you're able to be versatile in terms of both coverage. So that's kind of the thing there. And I do think he was really, really good at both man and zone, but not really so much in press. So
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna only go with a 9 there for now. Thoughts on that?
Out of 10?
Yeah.
Okay.
Patience and positioning. That's a weird category because I would like to see him position himself a little bit more inside, but his patience was really, really nice and it allowed him to make up that ground. So again, I'm probably going to stick with a 9 there for now.
Okay.
Next one is going to be discipline and route recognition. So route recognition is fairly self-explanatory. That's your ability to recognize routes, break down routes, things like that. And then discipline is both mental and physical. So ability to not be grabbing and commit DPIs play a factor in that, as well as like mental discipline and not like doing anything stupid. So in terms of that stuff, because I gave him a 9 for patience, I'm gonna go with a 10 for route rec, even though it probably should be like patience and discipline and positioning route rec, in which case
Yes.
it would be like a 10 and 8. So I'll give him a 10 for now. In that particular category.
Okay.
Ball tracking and playmaking. Didn't get to see a pick through 2 games, which is not really a huge deal either way. But he did really seem to do a nice job of keeping his head up and tracking the ball in. So I definitely feel confident about a 9, and I could see giving him a 10 there as well.
Yeah.
Um, so yeah, I think I'm gonna stick with a 9, but that could definitely move up with more tape. Footwork as well, especially with possibly 3 games coming still. You have at least 3 games, maybe 4 games left still between the semifinal playoff and the bowl in Michigan. So we could have up to 4 more games. So that's
Mm-hmm.
something to keep in mind with this too. Footwork 10, really really clean, really athletic, really smooth, all that good stuff. Uh, really nice job in terms of transitioning with the feet. Back pedal was top notch, very active. Love to see that. Fluidity of motion, athleticism, same kind of thing, except the main difference there is going to be upper body. So that's going to be like not just the feet, but like the legs, the twists, the ability to rotate hips, all that kind of stuff. But still, really 10. Um, might not be the highest RAS guy. He's not going to be like 4.2 or anything stupid insane. But he definitely passes all my requisite requirements to be a good athletic corner. Run support and pass rushing, didn't really get to see a whole lot there, but I don't really want to bang him too much for it either because he is physical. So I'm going to go with an 8 there. I think that's pretty fair. And same thing with tackling. I think a 9 is honestly reasonable given that we were able to see him make tackles and he didn't shy away
Yeah.
from contact. Thoughts on that?
That's that sounds good. I was doing my own actual like filling out mine while you were doing yours, so
Oh, okay. Yeah, we'll go over yours at the end too.
okay.
Next one is number 9. Next, enforcing the boundary. This is something that I think is probably his biggest improvement, and I kind of alluded to this with the hand usage aspect of this, but it seems like not only does he give up a little bit too much ground inside, but he also doesn't force outside enough. I think I mentioned that once or twice.
Yeah.
So that's something I'm only going to give a 7, and honestly, that's probably going to really kill his overall grade. But it's not the end of the world either. It's kind of not one of those traits that's really going to make or break you, but it's just an area that I would like to see him do better. And you're going to see this as a big deal on vert stems. So this is something that's really probably going to come into play versus Michigan this week, which is going to be very interesting because Michigan has downfield threats like Nico and DPJ. So that's going to be something to really watch out for on Saturday, assuming I get this up this week. So definitely something to keep an eye out for, and the biggest area I would really like to see him improve is making sure that you're physical throughout the course of the play while not being handsy. And he's done a really nice job with the second part, not being handsy and violent, but he's also not being reckless. He comes off a little bit passive in terms of route disruption. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Did I kind of separate that well enough? So that's something I would like to see. And miscellaneous intangibles, 3-year starter, no real injury history, hamstrings are just going to happen.
Yeah.
Probably a captain, leader, all that stuff. Good communication. I didn't really focus on that a lot, but didn't have any struggles with communicating. Really good zone just communication, which kind of speaks to that. So I gave him a 10 in that area as well. So overall grades are 9, 9, 10, 9, 10, 10, 8 for run support and pass rush, 9, 7 for enforcing the boundary, and 10. Which I will add up here. One second. Actually, I should probably do it the easy way. Average of a 9, plus 1, plus 2, plus 3, plus 4, minus 1, minus 2, minus 3. So plus 1, so 91.
Okay, that's pretty close to what I had actually.
Assuming that I did my math right, which is not guaranteed, but highly probable. Which, for now, puts him behind Diggs, who I was extremely high on. However, that puts him in a tie with Chase Young for approximately a top 10 guy.
Oh yeah.
So, well, first off, I'll let you just go over your general thoughts on mine, and then I'll let you go into yours. So, is there anything that you agree or disagree with traits-wise that I gave him?
No, obviously we'll have like different traits as well, but like I mostly agree with you and what you said and your ideas on him, and I'll say mine. We can compare them afterwards if you'd like.
For sure.
Okay. So I guess my first trait was his like athleticism and like his like I guess his fluidity and stuff like.
Yep.
And I give that like a 9.5, just because I mean he doesn't quite have like the same like he's in like the like highest tier of like athletes. Like he's still like
Sure.
a terrific athlete. It's just like he isn't like that one like the generational athlete that you see like rare, but he's still more than serviceable at his position, and he's definitely like really good for it. So I give him a 9.5 at that. And for hand usage, I gave him an 8.5 because he was still able to use his hands effectively, but he still kind of sort of struggled with that a little bit as I saw on tape.
So, when you say hand usage, are you talking about like at the LOS? Or are you talking about
I feel like
at the catch point, like the stem?
I'm more talking about had the line of scrimmage. I should probably like rephrase that. I'll rephrase that later, but line of scrimmage is more so.
Okay.
And
Still
then
like a press look.
yeah. And then for like, I gave him a 9 in man coverage, and a 9.5 in zone.
Okay.
And then I feel like, well, this might come back to athleticism, but for recovery, I gave him like a 9.5.
Yep.
Because even though he got beat at the line of scrimmage, he was still able to keep up with his receivers, which was like a big thing for me. So.
Very true. Yeah, I consider that my athleticism grade. I just forgot to mention it. So, props.
Yeah. And then, I guess it's more like the mental IQ type thing. I gave him like a 9 because.
Oh, okay.
I feel like he was like really good to like just like from a mental patience. I might even bump it up to a 9.5 just because he's just able to like stay patient, and he had like a really good like he was able to constantly like keep up with the play and able to like recognize what was going on. And then for tackling, and I guess this is more like run support and motor type of thing, I also gave him a 9.5 because he was also he was able to like make nice plays open field and get to the ball carrier really fast, and was able to wrap him up and stop him from any further yardage, which was really nice for me.
Cool. Alright. Interesting.
And then next is like ball skills. I gave him a 9 just because he didn't really see any like interceptions, like you said, or really he didn't really get thrown to that much, but like he made some nice plays to knock the ball down, and so I gave him a 9 for that. And obviously it could improve if I see more plays from him. It's just right now I don't really have too much to really play. And for footwork, I gave him a 10. I really liked his footwork. I think it was really good and one of his strongest, if not his strongest, attribute on tape. And then for concern, I gave him a 5. I didn't see anything. 5 out of 5, that is. I didn't really see anything too wrong with, like, I didn't see any red flags or anything. Like you mentioned, the hamstrings, but that's bound to happen, and that's not really a big deal.
Yeah.
And then potential, I gave him a 4.5, mainly because I feel like he hasn't reached his ceiling yet. He's probably going to be 21 this year, and I feel like he has room to improve, and he can improve on the stuff that he struggles in.
Yes.
And so I feel like if he gets into a good coaching staff, then he'll definitely be able to improve on some of his like more hand usage and stuff like that.
Very nice. So what does your overall come out to? Have you figured that out yet?
I think that's I'm gonna do the calculation again, but I think it's 93.5.
Okay, so a little bit higher than me, which is not too surprising, but that's pretty normal. I'm a little bit tighter than a lot of people, and obviously I'm my own biases and opinions. I try not to let that get in the way, but
yeah,
I'm sure it happens.
And yeah, like same with me. Like I try not to be biased with mine, but maybe it might happen. Like I'm an Ohio State fan, so I try not to put that in my.
I think the biggest difference was the tackling aspect, because I gave him an 8 and you gave him like a 9.5 or whatever.
Oh yeah.
So that's like the difference between a 92 to a 91. Like that's honestly minuscule at that point, and especially with you using halves. I don't use halves, I just use rounds.
Oh yeah.
So the main difference between the two of ours was the tackling difference, which it makes sense because obviously I come from a background of football, where tackling from corners is very highly valued.
Mm-hmm.
And the Lions' scheme and coaching staff and evaluators really look toward that. So it's something that I'm a little bit harsher on. Well, I should say a lot more harsher on than a lot of the typical people out there,
Yeah.
including yourself, most likely. So
I'm not gonna lie, I haven't really been paying attention to the NFL that much. I'm a way bigger fan of college than I am NFL, and I really don't follow like the NFL quite as much. Like, I'm still a Raiders fan, but I haven't watched a game in like probably since week 5.
oh wow. Yeah, I watch every Lions game, but like I'm not like too big of a fan of the league, more so than the
Yeah,
Lions. So like I'll watch like
yeah,
every Lions game, but like I
yeah,
won't go out of my way to watch like a Browns Bengals game.
yeah. The thing is here, um, we don't get very many Raiders games,
Right.
and I mean, I could always use Reddit and stuff, but that just seems like a lot of work. And a lot of the time, I usually go out on Sundays.
Oh, yeah.
It's like, and I mean, I don't feel like I'm missing too much with the NFL. It's a lot more, like, I wouldn't say boring because I still love football. It's just a lot less entertaining than college football, and I get way more invested in college.
True. So, on that note, are there any potential fits that you see for him based on where you think he could be going and teams that you think might want a corner?
Well, I feel like he's probably gonna go top 10, so like maybe a team like the Broncos could go after him to, pair up with Chris Harris. Or
Chris Harris is probably getting moved, but
is
I
he?
do like that
Well,
team.
yeah, like top 5 team, probably top 5, top 10. Broncos. I'm just looking at a draft for the Broncos or the Falcons, maybe.
Falcons need another corner?
Mm,
Well, yeah, probably.
yeah, I think so.
Their past defense is not the hottest.
Yeah.
I'm wondering how he would fit here if he were to fall. In
That could be
Detroit, I mean.
interesting. Yeah, that could be interesting.
Especially considering our reliance on man. I think that he could be very interesting from that standpoint. He's physical enough to where he meets that specification. He is long enough to where I think he would meet that specification. Obviously, Patricia known for his longer corners, his more physical corners, and his man cover guys. I think that Okudah checks all three of those main boxes. Um, should meet our athletic standards, which aren't really too high. Uh, not like the Saints or a team like that who
Mm-hmm.
go after your Blazers.
Yeah.
So it'll be very interesting to see uh, if Detroit shows a lot of interest, and I expect that they will. So that could be a connection that we see frequently, especially if Denver beats us in Week 15 and we pass them in draft position. I think that could be very interesting to see how that plays out.
Yeah, I think so.
So, any other concluding thoughts that you have?
Um, no, I think we pretty much covered it. I think I'm just really excited to see him over the next
3 to 4 weeks.
2, 3, hopefully 4 games.
Yep. So, one final thought I guess I have is what do you think about a Jair Alexander comparison? You remember watching Jair when he came out?
I mean, it was a while ago, but yeah, I feel
Two
like
years.
2 years. Yeah, I feel like that's an interesting comparison.
I think that they have similar upside in man. Jair was able to transition very well in man. He stayed close, played really nice in phase, pretty tight, was consistent with it. Same thing in zone. He had obviously a lot of zone versatility. They're asking him to do quite a bit of zone in Green Bay. He was pretty similarly athletic to what I expect Okudah to be. And the physicality aspect is pretty similar. Jair not really too much of a hard hitter compared to Okudah, but he still had the tackling potential and upside and willingness that Okudah does. The main difference for me is that Jair was a little bit more willing to win inside, and that allowed him to force boundary a little bit better. Even though he didn't have that aggressiveness that Okudah comes off as sometimes, he still had the, I guess, positioning aspect that I wanted to see a little bit more of in terms of vertical stem.
Yeah.
So that was probably, but honestly, that's not really too much of a difference. How many routes are streaks, right? So, in the grand scheme of things, I do think that they're very similar, and I honestly think that they're probably, Acuna is probably going to go a little bit higher because Jair had that big injury that kept him out for a month. And I think teams were a little bit more concerned with.
I remember
And
that.
the size difference as well, I think is going to get, because Okudah does hit that 6 foot, whereas Shayer was like 5'11 and a half. So I think that extra half inch might raise his stock a little bit more too. Different competition. Okudah has a lot more good teams on his schedule than Jair did. Jair mainly Clemson, Deshaun Watson. Like those types of like minor little things will play into it a little bit too. But in the grand scheme of things, especially from a coverage standpoint, I really do think that they're very similar in terms of, especially when you look at where Jair is today in Green Bay, what he can end up becoming as a pro player.
Yeah, I think I agree with that.
Sweet. So any other comparisons that you might have?
I really can't. I'm really not good at comparisons, so I really can't.
Fair enough. Alrighty. Well, hopefully you guys had a fantastic day today. Hope you guys continue to have a fantastic rest of your day, week, month, year, etc. whenever you're seeing this. Hopefully it didn't cut out too much of the video. I don't know where we are now. If you guys can see this, this is really awkward. This is what we've been dealing with all day.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness. Well, at least it recorded an hour, so it didn't cut out too much if it did cut out anything. Okay, there we go. Hopefully you guys have a fantastic rest of your day, week, month, year, whenever you guys see this. But for now, peace out. Okay, it recorded over an hour.